Mic check. Check one. My god, did I figure it out? me just unmute myself on YouTube. This is my first time streaming, so if there are any technical issues, please let me know so I can address them as soon as I can. I am trying to simulcast on Twitch as well as YouTube, so if you do see me pop over to the side, I'm just checking the chat so I can answer any questions or give you guys any shoutouts that you have popped in and said hi. Hey Moxie, what's going on, friend? So my name is Catherine, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today. I came up with this idea a couple of weeks ago because when I started my morning, I used to turn on the TV and watch the news, and it was annoying AF. All it was bad news, or it was financial crumble, or the war in Ukraine. And while those things are all important, I wanted to start my day off on a positive note. And so I stopped watching the news and I started playing video games instead, because that's what gamers do, right? And then it didn't really give me the oomph to start my day properly. So I decided, you know what? I'm up at 5:30 every morning, and I wanted to share some of the tidbits, some of the mindfulness, the breath work, and maybe just the positive energy that I'm able to share with you guys so that you can start your morning off on a positive note. That's what this is all about. As I mentioned before, I am a transformational life coach, and some of you might be wondering what that actually is. It is the sweet spot between clinical social work and traditional talk therapy and your traditional life coach that goes, "You got this, go harder, 10 more," you know. I am trauma aware, so I can help you navigate your subconscious safely, joyfully, and energetically so that you can then bring forth your positive self. And that's what I want to do in life. I do come from 15 years of retail management. I have worked with the shitty customers. I know what it's like to wake up first thing in the morning, chug back a cup of coffee, and then head into work only to get yelled at and verbally abused and all that fun stuff. So if you want support with that, I can teach you mechanics. I can teach you breath work. And one thing that we're going to be doing during these morning shows, if you will, is to help you shield yourself. You know, we're going to go through some breath work and teach you things that you can use in your day-to-day so that you can start off positive and you can carry that throughout your day. Now, I keep saying start off your day. I do want to give a shout out to any of those that are watching that might be coming off an overnight shift. You know, maybe this will help you get rid of all the negativity from the night before and allow you to find restful sleep where you can actually recharge your batteries and wake up in the next couple of hours being happy and healthy. So I'm going to open it up to the floor. If anybody has any questions or anything, we're just going to take a few minutes and just let your subconscious listen to the chill music and see if there's anything that you need to release this morning. Good morning, Mr. Mike. How are you today? And as I mentioned, I know this is my first time streaming, so if there is any audio issues, if there's any video issues, please feel free to let me know. I am doing this for the first time, and any of you that know me, I don't prepare on the front side. Why would I do that? I just jump in. So I'm like, sure, it's 5:30 in the morning. I know how to stream, but that's okay. Mike, you're awake? That's awesome. Thank you for joining us. And of course, I do want to give a shout out to myself, obviously. This is a shameless self-promotion, you know. If you do want to learn more in-depth yoga nidra meditations, how to create your sankalpa, or just how to shield yourself, please feel free to reach out to me. You can find my website, www.livewithadvantage.com. I am also, as I say, streaming on Twitch, so if you want to get the live alerts that I'm going live on there, you can find me at also Live With Advantage. You'll notice a concurrent theme. And I also have a Patreon that started. Again, I'll give you 3 guesses as to what it's called. Live With Advantage. And, you know, there's a couple of tiers there that I understand. You know, some people want to make a positive change in their life, but it's very daunting when you see the price tag that some people charge. And so there are different tiers where, you know, $10 a month, you can get all of the exclusive content, but I won't go into that right now. If you do want to connect with me one-on-one, please feel free to email me at info@livewithadvantage.com, or you can even call me or shoot me a text. I do have WhatsApp for the international viewers that are out there, so please don't feel that this is Canadian only. You can reach me at 519-378-5992. And again, let's just take a few minutes to chill and listen to the positive energetics of the music, and of course, the whole point, drink our coffee. So I wanted to start off the conversation today with a hot take, but at the same time, something that I feel needs to be spoken about. December isn't always the best month for people. People always say, you know, Christmas is the best time of year, and while there are a lot of people that love Christmas, they love December, and they love everything that December brings, there are a lot of people out there that December is very hard. And I feel that I need to just give a polite reminder that, you know, it's okay to not like December. If you feel a sense of dread as we get closer to the holiday that will not be named, that's okay. It's okay to not like Christmas, and don't feel that you should be pressured just because society says that, oh, this is the best time of year, everybody is happy, you need to be happy. No. As someone, again, I'm going to probably refer to this a couple of times, someone who's worked in retail, December for me is still triggering. I haven't worked in retail for close to 3 years now, and yet the closer we get to Christmas, the higher my anxiety crawls, and the higher that my blood pressure climbs, because I know what my friends and family in retail are going through. I know the stress that you guys are under. Not only retail, but anybody else who has just a regular 9 to 5 job, or a 7 to 3 job, or a 11 to 7 job. I know there's 3 shifts of the working world, and not everybody is able to experience things in the same light. So I just want to reiterate that it's okay to not be okay. If December is hard for you, that's okay. You're allowed to have hard times. And when people tell you, don't be sad, you have nothing to be sad about, there's people who are in worse positions than you, that's bullshit. Because in my opinion, that's just gaslighting, and that's invalidating your feelings. You are allowed to feel your feelings. And to be fair, it takes a lot more energy to dispel those feelings than it does to just accept them and move on. Sometimes I will sit and I will reflect on why is December so hard for me. And that's exactly what it is that there is so much pressure on us. We have to work our regular jobs, and then we have to do our regular grocery shopping and everything else. And then we also have to put on extra shopping. And sometimes your financial situation might not allow for, a huge Christmas. Yet at the same time, you also have this level of keeping up with the Joneses that has been mapped into your subconscious. And that is what I'm able to change. I'm able to help you release all of those negative emotions and all of those limiting beliefs of, I can't provide a good enough Christmas for my family. What you think is a good enough Christmas could be a million times better than what someone else might think. In the last few years, I have definitely found out that it's not about what's under the tree. It's about what's around the tree. It's too many times I spent stressing myself out thinking, oh my God, I need to get all of this stuff, and I need to make sure that I get gifts and presents that my husband is gonna love, or my parents are gonna love, or my friends and family. And I spent more time worrying about everybody else, and I would stay awake at night crying because I was so stressed out. And then I hit the realization that I had been living almost an oxymoron, where it's one hand I was told, Christmas is not about what you get, it's not about the gifts, it's not about the material value, it's about family, it's about love and friendship, and it's about what's around the tree. And yet I was all worried about what was under the tree. So then this year, we decided, me and my husband, that we're not going to celebrate the material side of Christmas. We are not gifting. We are not spending money on material stuff. We are going to celebrate family and friends. We are going to celebrate what is around the tree and not under the tree. And that has made the biggest difference. Am I still triggered because it's December? 100%. Am I still worried about my friends and family in retail because I know the verbal abuse you guys are going through? Absolutely. But that's the whole reason why I've also started this, is that this is my way of giving back to you for the love and support that you guys can have fun, that you guys, as Lisa said, shout out to Lisa, my friend. Case in point, board game day for Christmas, as well as appetizers all day instead of presents. 100%. That's amazing. Let's keep this conversation going. What else do you guys do for Christmas? If you've been able to find the enlightenment of moving on to beyond the material plane, what do you guys do for Christmas? What do you guys do that doesn't stress you out, that is able to alleviate some of the stress? Throw it in chat. Let's have the conversation. Let's spread some good ideas. Maybe we'll have something trickle down to somebody else. But to go back to my point, this year I decided that my gift to my friends and family was going to be this: spending my first 2 hours of my day with you. And thank you for joining us, and thank you for holding space for myself as well as those others, and maybe we can build some distant friendships with maybe a new community that we can build. That would actually be super amazing for me if this was able to take off and this was able to become a community that we can help each other become our true authentic selves. And while I say true authentic self, some people are confused when I say true authenticity. You feel that you live your authentic life day to day, yet how much of you are you actually parsing out because there's work you, and there's friendship you, and there's family you, and then there's personal you? How much of personal you do you allow at work or with your friends? How much of that are you hiding because you're afraid of what work might say, or how your friends might take you, or that your family might not like that? This is slightly a hot take, but when I started with transformational coaching, my parents actually kind of gave me that weird, I'm sorry, what? And it was compared to the woo-woo new age health wave. And when I say woo-woo, that's exactly what I mean. It's woo-woo. Because it's a matter of, I should not have to be hiding or not sharing my authentic self with the rest of my family and friends. There's a lot of that, oh, well, it's just easier to not act like this around these people because it doesn't give me the grief, or I don't have to deal with anger management, or. Those ors are secondary gain. And if you have to hide yourself from your friends and family, why are you hanging out with those friends and family? And I say that because I know that's a hot take. Because a lot of you are going to sit there and be like, whoa, where do you get off at 20 after 7 in the morning telling me how do I value these people in my life? And that's a question. Is it something that we want to think about this early in the morning? Maybe not. But you know what? Now that I've planted that seed, maybe the rest of the day you will kind of be aware of what's happening. You might go to work now and say, hey, wait a second. I hide a lot of my authentic self from these people for X reason. Start the conversation, and as I say, if you have questions that bubble up, I'm available. Shoot me an email, and maybe we will unpack them on one of these morning get-togethers, or maybe you and I can have an initial conversation and we can have a sit and chat, and we can find out How is that a problem? So let's just take a moment and let that sit, and let your subconscious think, how much secondary gain is in my life? How many people do I have that I'm holding on to that are actually a negative influence in my life and preventing you from being your authentic self? Moxie, you guys hang out and chill on the couch and watch movies typically? That's awesome. That's a pretty chill Christmas. I like that. That's fun. Last year I think we watched Die Hard. I believe there was 2 or 3 Die Hards in a row that we watched, because hello, Die Hard's totally a Christmas movie. Like, you can't say it's not. Come on. Come on. So now I'm going to invite you now to join me in just some morning breath work. Now that we've kind of started getting the brain working with some deep thoughts, maybe I've initiated some thoughts that might have been a little too early, let's just hang out for a few seconds. And I invite you now to close your eyes and just listen to the music and develop an awareness of self. Develop an awareness of the energies around you. An awareness of your body in contact with the chair or the couch. Or hey, maybe some of you are laying on the floor, chilling out, doing some yoga. Morning yoga is always fun. And as you notice your breath, don't try to change the pace of it. Just notice the spontaneous breath. And as you breathe in, I want you to picture whatever color this can be, but I want you to picture you breathing in all the positive energy that is surrounding you right now. And as you breathe out constant and solid, but more like the bad wolf blowing out all the negativity that's around you. You're breathing in the positivity, and releasing all that negativity. Don't sleep. This is relaxation on a Monday morning. I understand it's early and we're all still waking up. And as we do these calming breaths, relaxation will come and sleep will also want to creep back in. Don't sleep. Breathe in the positivity. and blow away all that negativity. It's amazing how much negativity you can actually create over the course of the night. You might not realize it, but sometimes your dreams will have a lasting effect, and while you know they're just dreams, in your subconscious they've actually mapped some negative emotions and some bad feelings. And so just being able to cleanse yourself of those negative emotions can allow you to start your day anew. And on the topic of negativity, that's one thing I do want to touch on, because for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. For every emotion there's an opposite emotion. And so we can't speak about positivity if we're not going to acknowledge negativity. Negativity is valid. You are allowed to react negatively to a situation as long as you don't dwell on the situation. 9 times out of 10, we will swallow our negativity because we want to be the Pollyannas or the silver lining, or negativity makes people feel bad and you want to be the positive light in the world. Amazing. That's also toxic positivity, which I'll get into in a few minutes, but negativity is the equal and opposite reaction of positivity. You can't have one without the other. If you don't allow yourself to feel those negative emotions, they have nowhere to go. And as I alluded to earlier, if you spend more energy trying to prevent yourself from feeling those negative energies and feeling those negative emotions, you are going to become emotionally burnt out, and that is bad, in a word. So you can allow yourself to feel sad that you didn't get a promotion. You can feel angry that somebody else got it and you didn't. You can feel resentment because you are better than that person, but for some reason you were looked over, or you did not receive the feedback you were looking for, or things didn't turn out your way. You're allowed to feel bad. You are valid in those negative emotions. Give yourself a time limit. Say to yourself, you know what? I am going to let myself be pissed, I'm going to let myself be angry, and I'm going to let myself be self-centered for the next 2 hours. I'm going to let myself feel the feelings. And I guarantee you, before those 2 hours are up, before your time limit that you gave yourself to feel those feelings, you'll be over it. Yet, if you swallow those feelings, not only will you get indigestion, but you will not allow yourself to process those emotions, and they will have nowhere to go. If you think of your subconscious like a Jacob's ladder, where you have your negative emotion, you have sadness because you didn't get the promotion you're looking for. Okay, I'm not going to be sad, I'm going to replace it with happiness, saying you're pushing it down. But then you're angry because you're not allowed to process that sadness, so now you've put anger on top of that. Now there's another layer. But you don't allow yourself to be angry because that's not nice. So you force yourself to be happy for somebody else. But now you have resentment because you are forced to be happy and friendly to this person that you wanted to beat because you wanted the promotion. So now you have resentment stacked on top of that. And what happens to the Jacob's ladder when you push everything down? It pops. your subconscious will do the same thing. If you don't allow yourself to feel the feelings, eventually your subconscious will just get so bogged down and so crushed with all the negative feelings and all the negative emotions that you haven't been able to express or release, that eventually it pops. And in order to pop, maybe it turns into chronic nail biting. You know, you need to feel those little pricks of pain just to get rid of those feelings. Maybe it turns into road rage because your anger is just so high and consistent because you're not able to release it, that when someone throws on their brakes ahead of you, you lose your fucking shit. That's a bad deal. I try to visualize it, as a string of pearls, where you have one that is large, and that's the significant event. That might be the first time that you have ever been angry or whatnot, and your brain mapped it, and that's a significant event. And then you have all of these other little individual pearls that carry on, and then you have another significant event, much like the first one, but because you didn't let yourself process and feel the feelings, now you have two large events, and then you stack more pearls, and another significant event. But then each time, the space between those significant events gets smaller and smaller. And eventually, what happens to that necklace of pearls? Pop! And all those beads go everywhere. Sometimes metaphors can be confusing. The point I am trying to make is that if you don't allow yourself to feel the feelings, then you're invalidating those feelings and you're invalidating yourself. To be your authentic self, you need to be able to have awareness and be able to feel the feelings. And that's okay. And that's what I want each morning for us to be able to hold space for each other. So you can feel the feelings. You can acknowledge the negativity that your subconscious might have held on to for whatever reason, and say, thank you. I have learned the lesson that I needed to learn, and now I can dispel it. So I want to go through another breathing technique, and this is what I call the chalkboard of lies. I know, it's super creative, isn't it? So I'm going to invite you now to close your eyes, take a couple of breaths just like we did before. Breathe in positivity, breathe out the negativity. And with the music, I want you to just let your subconscious allow those negative thoughts that you've been holding on to for the last couple of days, allow them to come into your conscious. Allow yourself to feel them. Whether it was a fight with your spouse, maybe it was a fight with your friend, a fight with your mom. Just allow yourself to think of those feelings and acknowledge your subconscious, saying thank you for holding on to these. Thank you for letting me know what these were. And mentally, I want you to picture a chalkboard in front of you. And each of those negative emotions, I want you to write them on the chalkboard. And then mentally acknowledge your subconscious, saying, thank you for letting me feel the anger from this event. I have learned the lessons, and it can be released. And then I want you to mentally picture that word of anger or that feeling of anger. I want you to just picture it disintegrating, much like the Thanos snap, if you will. You've written it on your mental chalkboard, and now it can disappear. Maybe there was sadness that you've been holding on to. Write that on the chalkboard. Acknowledge your subconscious. Thank you for letting me know I have learned the lessons. I can let go of this now. And watch the sadness disappear. And I just want you to go through all of the different emotions, all the different negative connotations that you might have had over the weekend. And when you feel you've completed all of the lessons that your subconscious needed you to learn, give one final moment of gratitude to your subconscious. Thank you for holding on to all of these negative emotions. I've learned the lessons I've needed to learn, and they can be released now. And then erase the chalkboard. Sometimes that silence can be creepy, huh? A lot of the times we are maybe not necessarily afraid, but the silence of our subconscious can be uncomfortable. Sometimes the silence is what you need in order for you to find the answers. Maybe you've been pondering something. Maybe there's been a very large life decision that's been bothering you. Your subconscious knows exactly what you need to do. The subconscious is the standard operating procedure of your brain. It's kind of interesting how only 10% of what we do, see, hear, feel is conscious. That leaves 90% to the unconscious. That means 90% of everything we do is unconscious. It's already been mapped, and it's already there. Some people might refer to it as the if statement of computer programming, you know? If X, then Y. If A, then B. And sometimes trying to remap those can not only be the hardest, but the most exhilarating thing we could do. So, to touch back on the negativity, while our subconscious has held on to all that negativity from the weekend, now that we've dispelled it, what is our subconscious wanting us to learn? Maybe it wanted us to learn that whatever made us angry over the weekend actually wasn't meant for us in the first place. Or maybe it was telling us that, you know, you need to feel this anger because something amazing is going to happen. Because with every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So, to piggyback on the negativity, I had also mentioned earlier about toxic positivity. And that can sometimes be called the Pollyanna syndrome or silver lining awareness, where you try to always find the good in every bad, the blessing in every curse. That's fine. Outwardly, you know, sometimes you need to be the shining star. Sometimes you need to be the ray of sunshine. Sometimes you also need to admit shit sucks. Life is gonna life, and it's not always gonna be okay. And that's okay. It's okay to not be okay. Having Pollyanna syndrome or silver lining awareness, that is invalidating your own feelings, which is preventing you again from being your authentic self. Which, if we go back, because everything's made up of layers, you try to find the positivity in every negative situation. That's not helpful. It's toxic. While toxic negativity, toxic negativity is always been, spoken about in the workplace or in the schools or in insert adjective here. Toxic negativity is always been brought to the forefront because that is what's most prominent. Toxic negativity will always be to the forefront because bad feelings are the worst feelings. Bad news is the worst news. Negative is always brought forward. Toxic positivity is just as bad. If you are gaslit from seeing the bad side of things, you're telling yourself that your feelings are invalid, which is wrong. If you're not allowed to feel the feelings, then guess what? We go right back to where we started. Your subconscious ends up being flooded with toxic negativity because you haven't been able to express all those negative feelings. So, I think today I want you to just think. We're going to take the next few minutes and just think about the difference between toxic negativity and toxic positivity and how it affects you. And maybe you didn't even realize that toxic positivity was a topic in your life. Maybe toxic positivity has actually been causing more harm than good. So we are going to take the next few minutes and we are going to hang out and do some meditation. Because who doesn't love some meditation, right? And yeah, it's going to be an awkward silence. I just want to hang out and listen to the music, but again, mentally, drink some coffee, develop an awareness. I invite you now to close your eyes. And just notice. Notice the sound of the beach. Notice your spontaneous breath. Develop an awareness of your surroundings. Slowly and gently take a deep breath. breathe in all the positivity around you, all the positive energies. And just hold it for a moment, allowing the positive energies to light up your lungs, to fill you. To absorb all the negativity inside you. And then release all that negativity from inside. Let it go. Don't sleep. Mentally remind yourself that don't sleep. You're doing breath work and you are just allowing the positivity of the day to fill you and propel you into a day of glorious being. Take another breath of positivity. Allow the positive energy to fill your lungs. Allow the positive energy to warm your inside. And allow the positivity to release throughout your entire body, absorbing all the negativity and let it out. And now I want you to develop an awareness of the room around you. The four walls, the ceiling, the floor. Mentally see yourself sitting there. And see the positivity shielding you. And then when you're ready, I invite you to come back, open your eyes, and we'll drink some coffee. If you have any questions, if you have any comments about some of this breath work, please put it in the chat. Start the conversation. Anybody just joining us this morning, welcome to the first episode of what I hope to be a constant thing in your life. The morning meditation, motivation, and coffee with Kat. I, of course, am Kat. I am a transformational life coach, and I just wanted to make your mornings positive. And so far, I hope that this first hour that we've been together has been enlightening and calming and a positive influence on your life. And I'm hoping that we can spend a couple of more days together. This will be happening every day, Monday all the way till Friday. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do it on the weekends, only because I don't know. Maybe I need to do some self-care. Maybe I need to take a break. But let me know what you guys think. There's a Facebook group, Live with Advantage, on Facebook. You can join the page, like the page, start conversations. We also have a Patreon that if you join the Patreon, you do get access to the Discord community. I have set up a Discord community for you, those of you who don't know what a Discord is. It is an amazing chat platform. It works very much the same way as, I don't know what it works the same as. It's Discord. It's its own entity. But if you join the Patreon, you do get access to the a Discord community, as well as, exclusives, because Patreons. And there is also an event coming up on Saturday, January 7th. I will be launching my first session of a familiar quest. Nope, that is trademarked. That is legally indistinct. It's not a familiar quest. That is a very nice stream with Todd Kendrick. It's very interesting. A familiar breakthrough. That's what it's called. And essentially, it is a breakthrough course that allows you to experience your subconscious and allow you to do some shadow work and allow you to do some self-work through the eyes of your familiar. It is a meld of tabletop role-playing, and it's fun. You get to awaken your familiar, you can explore your subconscious, see the Value Village. There's some interesting stuff. There's a group of 6 familiars that traverse the subconscious, and then after your group session, then we also have a one-on-one session scheduled throughout the week that you can unpack anything that you might have found awkward or interesting, or hey, I had this massive aha moment that I never noticed before. So if you want any more information on a familiar breakthrough, please shoot me an email at info@livewithadvantage.com, and I will give you all the pertinent information, or if you would wish to sign up. Another program that I will be releasing in January is the Avalon Empowerment licensed program called Awaken Your True Self. I have done the program myself, and it was enlightening, it was eye-opening, and it was amazing. It is 2 days, but I feel that depending on how the modality is, I might do it over the course of a couple of days. And you choose an aspect of your life that you really want to work on. And by the end of those 2 days, you not only have a game plan, but you have already changed your mindset on what you're going to do. It is enlightening, it's empowering, it's informative, it's heavy. But that is another program that I will be releasing in January. You might be wondering, well, if it's so enlightening and so empowering, why wouldn't you release it in December? Like, hello? December, nobody has time to fart. December is too busy. And the fact that you are opting to spend the first 2 hours of your day with me before work, before school, after work, before you go to bed, that is amazing. And that's why I want this to be focused on you. I want this to be your beginning of self-care. Self-care is healthcare, in all honesty. Self-care can sometimes be more important than anything else. And some people do find it difficult to focus on self-care. Some people do find it hard to say, I am going to lock myself in my bedroom and read a book all day because I'm doing self-care. Because again, we've been mapped and we've been programmed to believe that self-care is selfish. Self-care is probably the most important and least selfish thing that you can do. Without self-care, who's going to take care of you? If you need to take care of somebody else, if you are one of those caregivers out there, you need to take care of you. Because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of anybody else. And really, to be a jerk about it, I actually found a post the other day on the interwebs that said if you can work for 8 hours for somebody else, you can spend 20 minutes on yourself. That's pretty thought-provoking, as far as I'm concerned. Granted, I do spend 2 hours in the morning on self-care. I am up at 5:30 every morning because my cat is insulin dependent. And when I get up at 5:30, I'm awake. So I spend the first 2 hours from 5:30 to 6:37 to 7:30. Math is hard first thing in the morning. Doing things that I want to do. As I mentioned earlier in the beginning, I used to wake up and watch the news. Blah. That started my day off on a sour note. So I started playing video games. You know, I would play Diablo 2. And it's not that it would not start my day off well, but it didn't give me the push. It didn't give me motivation because I had to stop. And as a gamer, once you get in the groove of something, you can't just walk away. So then I started playing, solitaire, stupid mobile games because that's self-care as far as I was concerned. No. A couple of weeks ago, I hit the realization that self-care is doing what makes me happy. And thinking about, the chain of questions, how is that a problem? Well, playing video games in the morning, sure, that's made me happy, that's great. But it left me feeling unmotivated. It didn't give me the push that I needed. How is that a problem? Well, because in order to get through my day, you need motivation. You can't just drag yourself through life. Well, you can, but it's no fun. How is that a problem? Well, if I'm just dragging my feet, how can I help others as a transformational coach? That doesn't work. I need to be in a positive mindset in order to help people be in a positive mindset. In order to bring happiness, you need to elicit happiness. In order to elicit happiness, I need to be happy. Okay. So I started doing breath work. I started meditation. And I started doing exactly what we just did. Breathing in the positivity of the energy around me and letting it absorb the negativity and then releasing the negativity of the night before. And just being in that mindset changed my entire day. I'm gonna sneeze. Bet you that was hilarious on camera. And so after a couple of weeks of morning meditation and morning breath work, I realized this is what people need. This will help you get through the day on a positive note. This will help you get through December. This will help you get through January and then February. And sooner or later, I hope I'm wrong, but you won't need to hang out with us every morning. You'll want to hang out with us every morning. It's not a need, it'll be a want. And then you'll want to take this and you'll want to show your friends. And then their friends will want to tell friends. Because they'll see the positive changes in your life. They will see the positive attitude that you now bring. And they will feed off of your positive energy. And that is what my self-care is. My self-care is sharing my positive energy and my positive feelings and my positive attitude and transforming that into your positive energy and positive attitude. So again, thank you. I just want to give another shout out for everyone who is joining us today. And if there's anyone new that has joined the crew, please feel free to say hello in the chat. I am streaming live on Twitch as well as Facebook. So, nope, not Facebook, YouTube. So if you do see me pop over to the side, it's because I am reading the chat on my other monitor. But please, or if you just want to lurk, lurking is cool too. If you want to connect later on because something has been thought-provoking, please feel free to connect with me. You can find me, you can email me at info@livewithadvantage.com. You can shoot me a text at 519-378-5992. You can call me at that same number. You can also direct message me on Facebook. I do have a Facebook page, Live With Advantage. Live With Advantage is a statement more than a business name to me because in Dungeons & Dragons, when a player uses the help action, the other player gets to roll with advantage. So I ask you to let me use the help action to let you live with advantage. And yeah, it might sound a little cliche, but you know what? That's 100% what I live for. That is what I want to help people live with advantage. I want to help people transform from their negative, I don't want to say negative state, but from their, I want to help people find their authentic self. That is probably the best way to put it. Your authenticity is you, and when you start living your best authentic life, you become happier, you become more productive, and also you just become more. So one thing I am actually kind of excited for coming up tomorrow is Transformational Tuesday. So today I've spent the last couple of days thinking up neat and clever cliche names for each day of the week. So today obviously is Motivation Monday, where we speak about motivation and we talk about things that can get you going in the morning. We'll do some breath work. And then tomorrow is Transformational Tuesday. Transformational Tuesday is going to be focused on Yoga Nidra. It's actually a practice that a friend of mine introduced me to. And it is about a 30 to 45 minute meditative state. So I will be starting that probably closer to the 8 o'clock hour. You know, in the morning from 7 o'clock, we'll do our normal Q&A, we'll do our introductions, do some shout outs. We'll do some morning breath work just like we usually do. And then on Tuesday at around 8 o'clock, we're going to deep dive into some Yoga Nidra. As well as Yoga Nidra, Cliches and Coffee, that's it. I like that. That's going to be the new title, Cliches and Coffee. Thank you, Moxie. As well as Yoga Nidra, there is a technique called a Sankalpa. And it goes hand in hand with Yoga Nidra. And a Sankalpa is a simple How do I want to say this? It's a simple resolve that you repeat to yourself mentally while you are in the trance or while you're in the process of Yoga Nidra. And so I just want you to think, today, what is something that you want to change? What is one positive that you want to change in your life? Whether it be you want to be happy and healthy, or you want to be abundant and full, or successful, financially abundant. Something that you want to achieve. Obviously, it needs to be within reason, you can't say I want to own a house, but maybe financially abundant or financially full. You want to be happy and healthy. Currently, my Sankalpa is I am a successful life coach and I am financially successful, because that is my resolve. That is what I want to do, as this has become my career. This is what I do. I don't have a side hustle. I don't have a full-time job. You are my full-time job. Making a positive change in people's life is my full-time job. And so my Sankalpa, because I'm literally just starting out, my Sankalpa is I am a successful life coach and I am financially abundant. Maybe your Sankalpa could be I am going to be my authentic self. Maybe it's I am going to allow myself to feel negative emotions. I'm not going to gaslight myself. That's pretty deep. Again, it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be a mouthful. Something simple, easy, and something that you want. Something that you resolve to do. Something that is a goal in your life. So tomorrow is going to be some Yoga Nidra. And we're going to incorporate the Sankalpa. Again, you don't have to think of it right away. You don't even have to think of one at all. You can just experience the experience of Yoga Nidra by itself. And when we get to the Sankalpa part, you can just think, I am happy and healthy. That's okay. Nothing that we ever talk about or work on is ever forced upon you. This is all just to help you start your day on a positive note. So with that, I want to allow those people who have just started to join us. We're going to go back and we're going to do another meditation, and we're also going to do a shielding exercise, because I know some of you are probably off to start your day and you're anxiously looking at the clock saying, okay, Kat, when are you going to shut up? Because my coffee cup is empty, I don't want to miss anything, but I also need to get my day going. So we are going to do some final breath work. We are going to create our shield for the day, and then I will open the floor once again for anybody that has any questions, or if you want to go through anything again, or if you want to build a shield again, if you want to talk about your Sankalpa, we'll open the floor to some discussion, and then we will allow you to spend your day in a positive, happy way. Okay? So, I kind of feel like I'm channeling my inner Bob Ross. If nobody knows who Bob Ross is, please do a Google search and watch Bob Ross, because oh my goodness, he is the most chill dude, and I am sad that I did not appreciate him as much as I should have when I was younger, that I do now. So shout out to Bob Ross and his family. Happy little trees, We know there's no mistakes, there's just happy accidents. So, let us relax and invite you now to close your eyes and just listen to the sounds. Create an awareness of your surroundings. Develop an awareness of yourself. Of the contact points between you and your chair or your couch. Develop an awareness of maybe the coffee cup in your hand. And we're going to take a deep breath and breathe in the positive energies that we have been creating for the last little while. And we're going to hold it and allow it to spread through our lungs, through our chest, through our bodies, absorbing all of the negativity. And we're going to breathe out that negativity so it is no longer inside us. And I want you to develop an awareness for the other energies in the room. Maybe you have a kitty in your room, or a fur puppy, maybe your husband, maybe your kids. Just develop an awareness for their energy. Is it in conflict with yours? Or is it in harmony? Take a deep breath, breathing in the positivity, allowing it to absorb all the negativity, and breathe out to release all the negativity. Don't sleep. And now I invite you to develop an awareness of the room around you, the four walls, the ceiling, the floor. And mentally picture yourself sitting there. All the positivity that you've been breathing in all morning is now creating an aura around you that glows. I invite you now to float up above yourself so that you are looking down from the ceiling onto yourself, sitting there, surrounded by your positivity. Now imagine you are floating gently and safely upwards above yourself, floating way up high into the quantum space above your timeline. Notice the higher you float, the better you feel. Imagine floating higher and higher, way up into the sky. You can imagine floating up into space, into the cosmos, into the quantum. Just imagine and make it up as you go. Imagine it, so that you can see yourself way far below you, very small and very far. You may imagine this visually and picture what you're seeing. You may do this auditorily and imagine sounding your way above yourself. Or you may imagine how it feels kinesthetically to float way above yourself through this process. How does it feel? What does the quantum feel to you? What does space sound to you? And know that however you experience this is just fine and perfect. And now I invite you to open your awareness to maybe some of the negative energies that you know you're going to be facing today. And see it in the distance as you float up here above yourself in the quantum. And see that the shield that you have created can protect you from this negative emotion, these negative feelings. And that your shield is what is going to help you choose and decide what you feel and what you experience today. If you choose to let negativity in, that's fine, and that's valid. How much negativity will depend on you and your shield. Your shield is going to prevent you from being absorbed by the negativity. Your shield is going to prevent you from being absorbed by other people's negativity. And as you float up here in the quantum, I just want you to develop an awareness of your shield and how warm it makes you feel and safe. And that no matter what happens today, unless you allow it to happen, your shield will protect you. And now I invite you to come down, back into now, back into the present, and notice. Develop the awareness of your surroundings. Develop the awareness of the four walls around you and the ceiling above you, the floor below you, the contact points of yourself on the chair. But I still want you to feel the warmth and protection of the shield that you have made. And once more, I want you to mentally watch yourself breathe in a large, deep breath of all that positive energy. Let it fill your lungs, let it absorb through your body. And as you blow out, I want you to blow out the positivity, creating the final shield around you that nothing can penetrate, that nothing can break, that you have total control over, and only you can choose what comes in and what comes out. And I want you to develop a comfort in the silence. And allow your subconscious to bring forth any lessons that you need to learn, any feelings that you need to feel. And I want you to acknowledge your subconscious and appreciate, thank you for the lessons that I have learned this morning. Thank you for teaching me the things that I needed to learn from the weekend. And thank you for allowing me to release all of those negative incantations. And now, as we take 3 final, deep, relaxing, calming breaths, this will be the final layer of our shield. This is going to be all the positive energy that has absorbed all the negative. The positive energy that has absorbed us is now going to be creating our shield and will be the final layer. 3 final deep breaths of calm and relax. I invite you now, when you are ready, to open your eyes. And just notice how you feel. Just notice if there's been any change in your body language. Has there been any change in your emotional state? Has there been any change in your breathing? Are you breathing calmer? Are you breathing more rapid? Do you feel ready to fight the day now that you are shielded from all the negative energy and all the negative intonations that people are going to force on you today? How do you feel? And while you're thinking about that, please feel free, if you want, to put your learnings into the chat if you want to share. If not, that's cool too. I'm never going to force anyone to talk to the internet when they don't want to. Tomorrow we are going to be doing another layer of this. We're going to be doing our shielding, some breath work, as well as some motivation. But we're also going to layer in the Yoga Nidra with our Sankalpa. Yoga Nidra is another form of meditation that a lot of people will find energizing. Some people might find that they need to listen to it before they go to bed. I personally listen to Yoga Nidra before I go to bed and recite my Sankalpa, as I find that it relaxes me to the point that I can fall asleep without sleep aids. So if you notice that after tomorrow's session, and I say session very lightly as it is a meditation, if you notice that after our meditation tomorrow that you are sleepy and you fought hard to get through the day, please check out my YouTube channel, where I will have a recording of the Yoga Nidra in the guided meditations, as well as you can find another breathwork exercise that I made the other day with a little bit of a more upbeat sound to it, just to kind of get you breathing in the morning. And let me know if you guys would like to have these on a podcast version. I can release the Yoga Nidra as well as breathwork on a podcast version, or if a video version is just as good. I am open to different modalities and learning different ways of spreading my craft so that everyone is able to partake. So, wrapping things up, I just want to say thank you again for joining us this morning. We did start at 7 o'clock this morning, and we will be starting again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for Transformational Tuesday. We will be going through some breath work. We will be creating our shield again, and we will also be doing Yoga Nidra with our Sankalpa mixed in. If you don't know what your Sankalpa is, please feel free to just say, I am happy and healthy. If you want suggestions on what your Sankalpa should be, shoot me an email and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. A Yoga Nidra is a very simple meditation and awareness exercise that brings your own personal resolve from your self-conscious into the conscious, that you then are able to achieve joyfully and lovingly, without even really noticing that it's even a thing. So, again, my name is Catherine, or as I am more affectionately known as Cat, because you can only spell Cat 2 ways, but you can spell Catherine 17,000 ways. My name is Cat, and I am a transformational life coach. My vocation in life is to help you make a positive change. If that positive change is something large, or something small, or something huge, I would love to be a part of it. I am a trauma-aware transformational life coach, so I am able to allow you to transform or traverse or experience your subconscious in a safe space in either the comfort of your own home. If you live within, the Owen Sound area, I am more than happy to come to your home and help you with that. Or there are virtual appointments available if you do not live in the Owen Sound area. You can find me on my Facebook page at Live With Advantage, my website www.livewithadvantage.com, obviously on YouTube and Twitch that you are watching on presently. And Twitch is Live With Advantage, all one word, and YouTube is something ridiculous. I will post the YouTube links on my Facebook page, obviously. I do believe it is Cat Coil at YouTube, but I will get the specific links out there for people to find me. I do have a Patreon if you like what you hear and you want to support me a little bit or support the streams. You can support me on my Patreon. Again, I believe it's Live With Advantage, and I will post the links in the YouTube video, as well as you can find the links on my Facebook page. If you don't have Facebook and you just have Facebook active only for messenger purposes, feel free to message me on there. I do have Facebook messaging. You can reach me through Live With Advantage, and I'm going to open the floor now. If anybody has any thoughts, any questions, any impressions, or any feedback as to how the first day of motivation, meditation, and coffee with Kat, or as my friend Moxie has put in the chat, which might be a title change, cliches and coffee. I like that. That could be a title change. Royalties pending. If anybody has anything they would like to say, please, the floor is yours. Or if you want to just listen to the quiet of the music, that's cool too. Your check's in the mail, Moxie. Your check's in the mail. I'll hire you as the creative director. Hello, Mr. James. Welcome. You are awake. Oh, you missed so much. You can catch the VOD. I will be posting this VOD after we're finished. So you can go back and review any breathwork, any meditations, any information as I will be posting it. You will be able to find it on the YouTube channel. That's okay, James. Tomorrow is another day. You can join us for Yoga Nidra. All right. Well, I'm going to allow the stream to just chill out with some of this amazing music that I was able to find off Incompetech Music, actually, and the creator is Kevin MacLeod. You can see his cover art in the top corner. That is where I was able to find this amazing music for the background. And once again, I would just like to thank you all for joining us this morning for our first episode of Motivation, Meditation, and Coffee with Kat. I hope you were able to find this enlightening, and I hope that the shield that we have created, the breath work that we have done, was able to start your day in a positive way, and that you feel ready and energized to meet the rest of your day. And we will be back here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. where we will be able to do all of this again. I hope you're able to join us. And again, if you want to get in contact with me, please feel free to give me a call or shoot me a text, 519-378-5992. It's also on WhatsApp, if you prefer to use WhatsApp, or if you're in the States, so that you don't get charged $1,000 a nanosecond for international calling. you can email me at info@livewithadvantage.com. You can find me at my website at www.livewithadvantage.com. My Facebook page, Live with Advantage. You'll notice the trend that's happening here. And the trend is all based on my love for Dungeons and Dragons. And so I just want to end the stream now with my motivation. In Dungeons and Dragons, when a player uses the help action, the other player gets to roll with advantage. So let me use the help action to let you live with advantage.